Man, I've been tired of waiting, but I am not waiting any longer. The LG Nexus 4 just arrived in the office today. I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. Let's do an unboxing on this device to see, with stock Google, is this the must-have device this holiday season, especially considering the $300 price point. We'll take a look, but first, special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices like this for use in our one-paw bandit game, which we turn around and give to you on the site at instantwin.phonedog.com. When you walk into a Best Buy Mobile store, you'll walk out working. Whether you're getting a phone for you, your grandma, your mom, your dad, they'll make sure all the settings are good to go, that your email's set up, camera settings are intact, you got 4G LTE set up, and more. They'll hook you up and make sure you're walking out working at Best Buy Mobile. Is this the ultimate Android phone? Let's go find out in the unboxing. Oh, we've waited, and we've waited some more at PhoneDog, but the LG Nexus 4, also known as the Google Nexus 4, finally here for an unboxing. Now this thing, I'll argue until the end of time, at least right now. I won't argue till the end of time because perhaps stock Android can become more consumer friendly, but I'll argue right now that even in Android 4.2, this is not the ideal device for the mainstream consumer. This is a device for somebody that's a tech nerd, that wants to hack, that wants to mod, and that's what Google, I think, is still playing for with the Nexus line. They're kind of trying to foray a little bit into the consumer side, but that's it. I think there's so much more of a value add for the consumer, for the mainstream consumer that is, in devices that HTC makes, that Samsung makes, that Motorola makes, just because of the added software goodies. But this is the Nexus 4, available now from Google Play if you can get it. 8 gigabytes for $299, 16 gigabytes for $349. What makes this so attractive is that's a full retail price. That is not a contract. You're getting an incredibly spec device that starts at $300. This is actually the 16 gigabyte version, and I laugh because when we went to that cluster that Google Play calls ordering, I wasn't quite sure if I ordered an 8 or a 16 gigabyte because it was so jacked up that I just kept clicking buttons, and I ended up getting a 16 gigabyte one that ended up getting delayed for almost 3 weeks, but it's here now, and let's talk about some of the specs. It's packing a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon S4 Pro CPU. It's got a 4.7-inch IPS HD display here, 16 gigabytes of internal storage on this one for $349.99, like I said. There's also an 8 gigabyte version for $299, and if you've ever seen me open a Nexus box, you know that I've had issues in the past, so you never come to a box fight without a knife. So I'm going to make it super easy. You know what, just open it like that. No more collar stays. If you watch my Nexus 7 unboxing video, you know I'm not the best when it comes to that. But let me show you this as well, the little insert. Best of Google, beyond smart, totally wireless. This is packing Android 4.2. Inside, you've got a 2,100 milliamp hour battery. And here is the device itself. So far, it feels really good in the hand. I'll have to spend some more time getting used to it, but you got the power button on the left side, volume rocker on the right side, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up top. You got micro USB charging port and some screws down there at the bottom. Would not recommend unscrewing those unless you really want to play with the device. And then the Nexus back right here. So it looks like glass in the back. You've got Gorilla Glass, I believe, on the front. And then you've got 2 gigabytes of RAM on this device. So specs-wise, a really killer device that's spec'd well for a cheap price is going to make this appeal to people that want a fast device and the nerds and the geek people out there, but not necessarily to the mainstream consumer, partially because Google just doesn't market these in carrier stores. And hey, at least in the US, that's how we buy our devices, through the carriers. And so I think the traction will still be minimal. That said, they're still selling pretty well. Nexus 4 safety and warranty, Nexus 4 quick start guide, and then you get an LG USB cable and an LG AC adapter module as well out of the box. Let's get a sticker for something down there. Oh, a SIM card removal tool. So we'll go ahead and add a SIM card in there and get that in, and then we'll power it back up and see how well it performs. SIM card inserted. Let's power this sucker on. Hopefully there's some battery on the device. Yep, there we go. 2,100 milliamp hour battery, non-removable. You don't get 4G LTE here, which was a bunch of people were frustrated about that. You do get HSPA Plus capabilities though on T-Mobile and on AT&T. It supports T-Mobile 1700 megahertz AWS band, as it does AT&T's HSPA Plus band. So you've got 850, 1700, 1900, 2100 overseas, 900 overseas in this device. You got a lot of different bands that it supports. Let's go through this and select English. We'll skip that network setting. Yeah, we'll skip that. And then we'll set up Gmail in just a bit because we're still getting network connectivity. I'm going to pull the sticker off so you can actually see what it looks like. I should have pointed out a second ago, the SIM card area is right here. It's a micro SIM card, and use the removal tools you can see on my desk, to access that. And we'll go into phone belongs to. We'll skip all this for now. It really feels good in the hand. You got a chrome accent around the sides, and the back looks really nice as well, though I can already tell you it's a fingerprint magnet, so keep that in mind if you're looking into buying this device and that's something that kind of frustrates you, it is a fingerprint magnet. That said, it looks really good, feels good in the hand, got a nice feel to it, a little bit curved, or curved look, if you will, on the sides, and of course, a little bit more of a curvy nature with the design as opposed to a boxy nature of something that LG would make, like the Spectrum 2. So you can see kind of a design difference between LG's devices here. Made by LG, labeled as a Google device. Here it is, it's started up and ready to go. So running Android 4.2 out of the box, the only device to run Android 4.2 with the exception of the Nexus, Galaxy Nexus, which is rolling out to right now. So kind of right now reserved for Nexus devices. And out of the box, no carrier installed bloatware, going to be a great thing for a lot of people. You do get Google stuff. You can see Currents, Google+, messaging, people, and more, and you get some of the great benefits that come with Android 4.2, like the ability to double press and access those quick settings on the side, or I can move back and forth between that and the actual notifications bar itself. Google Now installed as well, on-screen buttons here, recent applications, kind of what you're familiar with from previous devices. You'll also notice that Google Chrome is the browser on this unit. But quad-core processor on this device, incredibly fast. We'll go ahead and skip past that. And you can see just transitioning from portrait to landscape mode, nice and fast. And then you have PhoneDog.com loading up right now. HSPA Plus capabilities on this, reasonably fast in the Dallas metro area so far, and then pinch to zoom, incredibly responsive. I'm a big fan of the Snapdragon S4 processor, both the dual-core version and the S4 Pro, which is what comes in this, and is the quad-core version. Very fast, no lag whatsoever. We can start up the dialer and take a look at it. Kind of a stock Android feel as you would expect it to be right here. No real changes to the overall look and feel. What you do get a change to is the keyboard itself. You do have trace input on this. So out of the box you can kind of do your swipe stuff without having to switch over to swipe. And you can see I am absolutely terrible at it, as you would expect. I am a hunt and peck kind of guy. The quick brown fox is happy. I say that too much. The quick brown fox is ready. How about ready for lunch? Quick brown fox is ready for lunch. Bam, there we go. And then I can skip and get rid of all that text. But the swipe feature is pretty nice out of the gate as well. We'll take a quick look at settings to see if anything's changed in the settings area. You can see device, personal, kind of organized by what matters to you. And then you've got a nice 4.7-inch display, which is HD, although it's 720p. So if you're used to or perhaps have looked at the Droid DNA with its 1080p display, that may be something that benefits you and something you may be interested in. But you've got some new wallpapers as well. I got sidetracked by the pretty colors. There we go. Let's do this one. This one looks pretty cool. That's neato. And bam, it started up and ready to go. Other camera settings, which we talked about with the Galaxy Nexus with the update. We'll go in here. Remember photo location? Sure. Touch to focus. And I can focus on the computer, as you see. I can focus on text, for example, the Nexus on the side here. And take that picture. And it's got a relatively fast shutter. And then I've got some options up here. HDR, I can flip the camera around. I can see additional settings with scene mode. Got my 8 megapixel camera and the 8 megapixel features enabled. Front facing HDR. And then let's go over here and take a look at HDR. Actually, you know what? Let's take that out. And let's look at the front facing camera really briefly. And you can see that's what the front facing camera looks like. And much like Windows Phone, I like the ability to quickly switch between the active camera app and then the gallery itself. So some pictures in the gallery. Stay tuned for full coverage on the LG Nexus 4, branded as the Google Nexus 4 on PhoneDog.com. It's finally in the office. It's going to go head-to-head against some other devices and dogfights. We'll have a full review and more. So stay tuned on this device, which a lot of people are really excited about, on PhoneDog.com. In the meantime, hit me up on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron, and then my personal account is Aaron C. Baker if you're interested in learning about that one as well. Hit me up at either one. Let me know what you think of this device. And I'd love to hear from you, and I'll definitely do my best to respond. Hit me up on Facebook as well, Facebook.com/PhoneDog, and give me your word on whether this is the ultimate Android phone. Thanks for watching. More to come on the Nexus 4 on PhoneDog.com. We'll see you next time.